I'm Rick Araluce. I'm a visual artist. I've been creating, painting, making things, I think, my whole life. The piece I'm creating for Renwick is entitled The Final Stop. And it's essentially, you're going to walk into an immersive environment that is a subway station. And it's not meant to be Washington, D.C., it's not meant to be London, the Tube, even New York, but it's going to reference the catacomb, dark, recessed, mysterious feeling of this underground system that is in most every major city. And there'll be sight, like you'll be seeing a receding tunnel on either side. You'll be seeing an opposite platform opposite you in what's called forced perspective. I'm going to do this in a way that brings you into a space that is both real and fantastical. It's a space that can't possibly exist, and yet you will be compelled. You'll see light from one end to your right and to your left, and from the other of a train coming up the track. You'll hear the approaching rising sound, the kind of thrumming sound that we all know, from the underground, from trains and such, But the train will never quite arrive, which will be menacing and compelling and mysterious and maybe ultimately frustrating. We decided it would be a really interesting sort of experiment, if you will, to show how the magic, how the experience actually was created. Because it's really created out of sticks and wood sheeting and foam. I work for theater, and when you go right past the scenery, the legs or the borders or the scrim or the backdrop, the scenery, and see what it's made out of, and having that experience and knowing that it still works and still, spellbinds and compels you, is kind of a fascinating insight into creation of this sort. I plan to have a couple of places where you can peer in through like a grill or a grating or an aperture into a surprising scene. It'll be a nice and interesting and fun, if you will, experience to realize, oh my gosh, there's even more to this work than the larger experience that you walk right into. And my work, I've been told by people who know that there's a highly cinematic quality to some of what I do. I have a proscenium, like stage or like a movie theater, with which you view an experience, and that is sort of central. With what I've been doing more recently, I bring you into you go through that fourth wall that the theater or the movie screen has. That's magic. I mean, cinema, theater, what I'm trying to do is create a magic experience that you can't have in another way. That's both artistic and experiential and allows you to have free reign within that space with your own story. And that's a lot of what cinema and theater are about. Telling stories, bringing you into another reality, another story, another world.